Hey, so in my good pursuit to do my homework, but more like my endless procrastination, I've discovered this new thing, which is these comics with voice acting added to it, and my hair looks really flat today. Anyways, and it's all about, the creepypasta characters and everything else, like Slenderman, Jeff the Killer, it's Masky Hoodie kind of thing, all that stuff. And it's really, I realized I really like it. I'm not a huge fan of Jeff the Killer until I saw this, because things I heard, oh, what's Jeff the Killer? And then I read the story, which is like ridiculously poorly written. And then, like the classic picture that I erupted with it too is just really stupid looking to me. But now that I'm seeing everything that spawned from it, and him as a character and the way he's depicted in all the fanfics and everything else, I actually kind of like him as a character. He's pretty cool. Now, so the one thing I wanted to say it's really interesting is that I'm noticing the whole, because lately I've just been like creepypasta everything. Like I've liked it for a while, but well, liked and hated it because there's a lot of them that are very poorly written. Jeff the Killer, for example. But there's some really good ones too. But it's interesting because you get these characters that emerge from it, and then they get borrowed and used and lended everywhere, and and then it just becomes a cultural phenomenon. That's kind of like the thing that everyone's kind of heard of, and it's all over the place. And it kind of made me realize it's modern day mythology legends when you think about it. It just goes to show how ingrained it is in our psyche or psychology or social whatever, that we still in this modern day of easy access to information and science, scientific discoveries and explanations and everything else, we still love legends and mythology and having a sort of cultural whatever, spreading stories that evolve each time the next person tells it, which is really, really cool, in my opinion. That, it's still something that's thriving today. It's just changing how it's being delivered. Instead of around, a fire with your tribe or whatever, it's, over the internet with these comics and short stories and everything else, and everyone building upon everything until it becomes a total mythos, which reminds me of H.P. Lovecraft, because that's how his stuff got so popular. And creepypasta, as everyone knows, is derived originally from Lovecraftian. And if anyone's kind of wondering what I mean by that, a lot of the criteria for Lovecraftian literature and creepypasta really similar. Horror story with a sort of ambiguousness to it, so that your imagination fills the blanks, making it that much scarier because your imagination knows best how to scare you. But then also the kind of, man was not meant to know, or can be driven insane by knowledge or whatever, or becomes the killer themselves through insanity. Like insanity was a very popular theme for Lovecraft, as well as like these apathetic, super powerful beings and all this other stuff. But yeah, like that he was kind of the first one to take it away from like the full explanation, was the kind of like leaving as many details out so that your mind, in like not giving you that ending that you so desire, that resolved ending, which is part of why it unnerves you so much, because that subconscious, your mind wants that ending to say everything's okay and everything is over or whatever. But when you don't finish the story, it continues in everyone else's heads, making it that much creepier, that much unnerving, because maybe not creepier, but unnerving, because your mind is uncomfortable with the fact. And you can look, there's actually, I'll put in the link in the description, what makes things creepy is the kind of between familiar and, like, between safe and dangerous. That kind of, in between is what makes things creepy. Now, so I'm just saying all this other stuff, but and the same thing happened with Lovecraft. He encouraged people to build upon his work, which is how the whole Cthulhu mythos happened. Was his, because people would read his works and then write other stories, and that's how the Necronomicon, just something he referenced in his own stories, became something that you see everywhere. And there's actually someone has made and published an actual Necronomicon. So it's cool how it's just something that human beings want to do. We get a good story, and we love it, and we want to add to it. We want to add our own thing to it, and everything else. It's just something that you've seen all throughout history, and it's cool that it's still happening in this day of the information age. This little thing.